Hi, I'm Minnesota Mike, and this is my friend Sandy. He and I are going to do some work together today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you'll stick around. So I bought this knife on an Etsy shop, and let me see if I can show you how this looks. I'm going to try to show you this with my headlamp on so you can see how dysfunctional this whole edge is. So I'm going to try to true it up. I don't really know anything about how to temper the blade or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen it on there, work it through from really low grit to, from 80 to 100 to 400, 600, and I've got up to 2,000, I think, grit. And so to begin with, it'll be the 80 grit. And this is a 1-inch belt. Try to work on that a little bit. Then after that, I'll have to retemper it. And then my idea is I'd like the back of this to be used as a fire striker steel with a piece of flint and steel striker. I kind of like the way the shape was. I know it's going to be a sharp knife. I think I can hold it like this and be safe. And I can strike on this area right here. I tried doing it already with a stone and I didn't get any sparks. So I think that means it's not hardened. And so usually the spine is not hardened as much as the edge is. But again, I don't know that much about it. The chief purpose of this isn't to be a fillet knife or skinning a deer or processing firewood or any kind of craft activity or anything. The primary purpose of this is to be my steel for a flint and steel kit. And it doesn't hurt to have an edge on it. So that's my idea. I paid $14 for this, so whatever shape it's in, can't expect much. So we're going to get started by changing this blade or this belt. I have the safety guard for it here. I usually just run with it off of there. And I know that's a little bit of life on the wild side. There's an arrow on these. The arrow needs to be pointing down. It's going to get loud, so close your ears. Okay, I'm done with the 80 grit, and I'm gonna switch to 120. Again, I'm looking for the arrow. Arrow needs to go down the direction of the belt. Some belts don't have directions, but when there is a direction, you must follow it, or it can come apart. Now I'm going to 600 grit. This belt does not have directions on it, a directional arrow. Okay, that was 600. And now we're going to go to 1,000. If I can find 1,000. Which one's 1,000? So this one is 1,000. Again, no directions on no directional arrow on this one. Pretty sharp now. Pretty uniform. That last little touch, I messed up this part right here. You can see it's got a little bit different angle. I'm gonna try cutting with it now with a piece of paper. I think that's pretty good for a grinder sharp. Now I'll get my scary sharp system out and sharpen it up good. Okay, on this file, I'm wanting to get this edge so that it has 90-degree spine. I've got it kind of close with the sander, but it's not, and it's smooth, but it's not square. So this edge is sharp, this edge is sharp. I really want to get it up to here because I think that I'll use this part maybe more. So I'm going to get it up to here and get it, try to get it square up high. And up high, maybe I won't hit it with a flint stone. This is a 65-cent item I got at a flea market or thrift store or something. These old files are worth looking for in your area. See, it's kind of hollow right there. But hollow wouldn't matter as long as it's a sharp spine. Down here is nice and square edges. Up here is more round. Don't worry about me cutting myself holding it like this. I've been cutting myself for 50 years. I always heal. This knife is not dull though. It wouldn't hurt to have it taped or something. It's funny how you can feel that it's rounded. I wonder if this is more hardened than this is out here, because it's not cutting the same. Real good and square. There's kind of a little burr right there even, which is great for ferro rods. But again, I'm not trying to make this for a ferro rod. I'm trying to make this for, to strike a stone. But this is real hard. I'm not getting it to cut much up there. That may be where I want to hit with the stone. Hard to find the right angle. Such a little knife, it's hard to find the right angle. Okay. That's 1,000 grit diamond. Oh, that's getting sharp now, guys. The blade, I can tell the blade's a little smoothed up now, where it had a lot of scritch marks in it or something. Okay, now the other side of this I think is about 14,000. Things are getting lined up there now. Okay. Now in here I have a big red crayon. Not go. This is my strop, my leather strop block made out of an old belt. Let's see how rough the texture looks on there. I think this will clean it up. I sharpen my knives to my liking. If you don't think I'm good, then just don't ever ask me to sharpen your knife. That'll be fine with both of us. This says 7,000 on the edge of it because the other side of it, I have 7,000 grit paper. It's cleaned up pretty nice now. this is my, in this Tupperware is my scary sharp system. It's not what I'm using at this point on this knife. Just that little this little gold diamond stone. One side is 400 grit and the other side is 1000. I carry that and this, which is called a D4. You can find that online. I carry those together in my pack and they go in this little pouch. People complain, they think this is sewed together backwards, but it's not. This is meant to be a stropping leather. So whenever I put it in my pack, I rub that on there and you can just brush up, touch up your knife with this little 4-inch thing. And if you take this somewhere, you won't even know you got it, so you better remember. So that takes the place of a bigger strop. Wipe the edge on my t-shirt. Let's try it now on the paper. It's sharp here at the front, but at the back it seems to not be. But it's really not scary sharp by any means, but it feels sharp to my thumb. But I think that this blade thickness is not uniform. I think that is part of the problem. So I'm going to go back to this 1000. I'm not doing the edge, I'm just doing the fat part on the belly there. So usually if you keep a knife sharp, you don't have to use any kind of grit, whether it's a diamond stone or sandpaper or anything like that, or a whetstone. If you keep it sharp, the only thing you'd want that for is if you got a nick in it, or if you cut barbed wire or something and really made it dull. I think a strop should probably be the backs, the suede side of the leather, and not the smooth side of the leather. I think a strap should be the suede side of the leather, probably not this smooth side of the leather. The way I have this one might not be the best. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I want to know that it would cut a string or something if I wanted to open a box. Maybe take a piece of fat wood and do it up like it should. It's real sharp from here forward. Back here, it's not quite. It's good. This is not an instructional video on how to sharpen something. This is you being blessed to watch me do this my way. Boy, I've got the blade shiny. The blade is getting real shiny. When this blade is shiny and smooth and you don't see lines in it, at least that means it's going to cut clear through something nice. This knife was on Etsy, $14 or something like that. It was really low price, no shipping. And I did give them a review that said I thought it should come to a point, at least even if it's not sharp. And they said, well, if it's not, they responded, please change your review, because if it's not sharp, you can always sharpen it. And I thought, well, sure, I can always sharpen it, but it ought to at least come with the blade coming to a point. And you could see there was a measurable distance of flat on the belly of that blade, and it was only sharp at the front and back. And I think that is because the thickness of the blade right here feels real thick, and this is narrower, and this is narrower, and this is real thick, so it's not a uniform edge. It's supposed to be a Viking knife. Okay, that'll cut a string, I'm quite sure. Quite sure. Let me find something to cut. Here's a piece of cardboard. Let's see if it'll cut a piece of cardboard. Not really. That cardboard is safe. Have to lower my expectations or get it better than that, I guess. I think I better keep sharpening a little bit more. It sure is shiny though, isn't it? I'll at least show you my little white blocks here. 2,000, 5,000, 7,000, 2,500, 3,000. I made one of these blocks for every kind of paper that I had. And so I use, this is double stick carpet tape. And I can peel this off and replace the paper on each block. And the recommendation by the Scary Sharp system, if you look that up on the internet, is to not skip a step, but 2,000, 2,500, and 3,000 is kind of close. I think you could go 600, 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000. Then the last is the strap. I have one of these in here that I would use on an axe or a machete. I would never touch a knife with it, I don't think. And this is the paper. It's wet or dry paper. You can buy this packet on Amazon. And it comes with this various sizes or various grits. And here's some new ones that I have cut, a 3,000 and a 5,000, ready for use. And when you peel off that carpet tape, it is flexible or peelable. And this is a Beaver Craft strap piece that I got. And when I got it, I thought we were supposed to use the smooth side, but I've since figured out that I think I like the rough side better. I have this file in there. This is a very coarse file. And that is, I know that stuff is being called Jeweler's Rouge, but it is for, it's a grit, so it's for a grit on the strop to prep the strop. I've been using this knife a few days, so I thought since I had this out, I would kind of clean it up a little bit. Just to show you I do know what I'm doing, I'll show this is a pretty sharp knife. It tears through. It's not super sharp, but it tears right through there. Winter's coming, and I will spend some time sitting at the dining room table sharpening things in anger, with fierceness. Drop that in there. And here's a little sheath that came with. And it's meant to be a Viking's neck knife. But like I said, my personal purpose of it is to use as flint and steel. I don't have any flint. I've tried several pieces of chert and none of it seems to work for me. So that's what I know for now. That's the mission accomplished. Thanks for watching. And if you need help sharpening something, don't ask me. I just barely can fight my way out of a paper sack about it. But there's some really good videos on the internet, on YouTube, from guys that do it all the time, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they understand the why behind what they're doing as well. So hope you have a great day. See you next time.